Hi, welcome to Samjamguitar. In this third video, we'll be taking everything learned from the first two lessons and expanding our chord vocabulary by adding two new chords, A minor and C. And stick around to the end of the video where we'll be learning a much more advanced right hand strumming rhythm. Let's get into it. Before we learn our two new chords, let's talk about something that's quite important: practice. It goes without saying that the more time you put into your instrument, the quicker you're going to progress. But depending on your time commitments, you may not have a great deal of spare time on your hands. I always recommend a minimum of 5 to 10 minutes to begin with, and it's surprising how much progress you can make with such a short practice session. I would say the most important factor in your progression as a guitarist is not the duration of your practice, but how regular it is. For example, a 5-minute practice every single day spread out across a week is worth a lot more than a single 35-minute practice crammed into one session within the space of a week. But ultimately, you get out of this what you put in. So if you've already got the drive and commitment to pick up the guitar every waking hour that you have and you can't seem to put it down, then you're definitely going to progress, obviously, very quickly. Anyway, that's enough talk about practice. Let's move on. If you've been watching from lesson 1, by now you should have 3 chords under your belt: E minor, A, and D. However, if you stumbled across this lesson and you feel like you should maybe go back and learn those before continuing, then click on the link above and work your way slowly back to this lesson again. Let's learn A minor to begin with. So A minor is going to use our first finger, finger number 1, on the B string, 1st fret. So E, A, D, G, B, with our first finger on the 1st fret this time. Okay, finger number 2 is going to join our first finger, but on the 2nd fret of the D string, E, A, D. And finger number 3 will go right next to our 2nd finger on the G string, E, A, D, G, 2nd fret. As usual, pay attention to the chord diagram. You'll see there's an X above our biggest E string. So try not to play that when strumming this chord, but again, not the end of the world if you accidentally catch it from time to time. Okay, let's try and play this chord all together. And now let's move quickly on to our next chord. The reason I'm showing you 2 new chords in this lesson is because they're very similar. So it shouldn't be too difficult to learn these, as it's not like you're learning 2 brand new shapes that are quite dissimilar. The way I'm going to show you how to play a C is going to be different from usual. I'm going to take the fingers of your A minor and adjust one finger to form our new chord. So make sure you've got your A minor chord down again, following the chord diagram in front of you. And what we're going to do is we're going to pick up finger number 3 and shift it to the A string, E, A, fret number 3. So by now you should have a finger on the 1st fret, the 2nd fret, and the 3rd fret. Out of all the chords learnt so far, this will require the biggest stretch, so make sure your thumb position at the back is supporting this stretch. If your thumb's too high, you might struggle, and also it'll change the whole angle of your chord. And you want the perfect finger placement, both in the fret, so as close to the fret wire as you can achieve, and also from the angle of your wrist and hand on the hole. So the change between A minor and C should be fairly straightforward. We're going to play 1 down strum, then move to our C, and then back again, and then back to C. So let's try switching between A minor and C by just moving our 3rd finger. You want your 1st and 2nd fingers to stay firmly down the whole time. Okay, let's start with A minor. And move to C by picking up our 3rd finger and moving it across. Then let's move back. And back once more to C. Let's now try this with a rhythm. Let's go for our down, down, up rhythm. So just to recap, I'm going to mute the strings with my left hand so that they make no sound at all. Just lightly touch all the strings. It's a down, down, up, down, down, up. Okay, let's give it a go. If you're having any issues with either of these chords, again, follow the usual steps and make sure that there's no buzzy notes by making sure that you're applying enough pressure and that your finger is close enough to the fret wire. It's quite common when stretching for this third finger note in your C chord to not stretch far enough. Therefore, your finger ends up too low in the fret. So try and stretch as far as you can. This is helped if the first finger and second finger are in the correct position to begin with and are not too low in the fret. Other than that, make sure the angle of your wrist is correct, so don't be leaning on any strings, and make sure you've not got flat fingers. You want to be on the tips as much as possible. And a quick reminder, if you're new here, feel free to like and subscribe below. Let's move on. Once you've got to grips with an A minor and a C chord, let's try using a few chords that we've learnt previously to create a 4-chord progression. Let's try A minor, go into a C chord, go into an E minor, and then a D. One trick here is when you're moving from your C chord to your E minor chord, you don't actually need to pick up your middle finger at all, so try and keep the second finger down. Okay, let's try putting them all together with our full down, down, up rhythm. Now, one extra I'm going to include in lesson 3 is a brand new right hand rhythm. If either of the two rhythms you learned before are becoming quite easy, then now's the time to progress to a slightly trickier rhythm. So let's place our fretting hand on all the strings, making sure they're all muted, and try out this new rhythm. So it's going to go down, down, up, down, down, up, down, up. I'd recommend pausing the video and trying that quite a few times until you've got to grips with it before progressing. Let's try it one more time. As soon as you're comfortable with this rhythm, apply it to all the chords that you've learned so far. I'll give a quick example. When you've had a good practice of everything covered in this lesson, feel free to move on to the next lesson where we'll be learning an E chord and a D minor chord. And as usual, if you feel you've learned something from this lesson and you'd like to see more, then feel free to click the like and subscribe button below. See you in the next one.